thrill me.
I'm gonna name you Kodo. You get a name too, Podo.
His name is Happy Harry Hardon. He's a total sex maniac.
Of course.
Welcome, everybody, to another Q's and T's installment of the Unkind Rewind. This will be the top half, where Sean and I talk about stuff and catch up with PodBiz before we kick to our discussion, getting to know Forrest Miller, the host of Movie Night Extravaganza. We've obviously had Conan Neutron on before. He's the co-host over there. But Forrest edits the video packages at the top of the show. This is going to be fun. We're turning this around super fast. You and I recorded this one with Forrest, Thursday last week?
It's still 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the current year in which we're putting this out.
Yeah.
Current month, too, I guess.
It'll make sense why we pushed it up a little bit once you hear what the movie is.
It will definitely make sense.
Yes.
No need to tip our hands.
Yeah. So you're recording from different environs, Sean.
Yeah, I the devil went down to Georgia, so I had to follow. So I'm down in Atlanta for a little bit. But by the time we see Forrest's movie and talk about it, I'll be back in my normal environs.
Yeah, you will. Oh, yeah, I didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Josh Dugan. You're Sean McGrath.
You got it.
Yep.
What do we do here?
We ruin people's childhood, one movie at a time.
Sometimes.
Maybe. Not every time, but like 70% of the time.
We challenge their childhood, perhaps. Yeah. We risk it.
Yeah.
Certainly, and they risk it too. There's an understanding that they get into. They have to sign waivers. Mm-hmm. And they put some nostalgia on the block, and we see if it can stand up to the test of time. That's what we do here.
Sure do. So obviously you're seeing family in Atlanta. Have you done anything since last we spoke before KT's episode?
Well, your boy got some glasses.
Yeah. For the listeners, Sean just put on spectacles.
Very dramatically.
Yes. How does it feel to be able to see again?
Okay, so asterisk here is I didn't think I couldn't see. No, that sounds strange.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I really had a problem because this has been such a gradual decline. And the decline is
minuscule.
Minuscule, yeah. But as soon as I had these and took them for a test drive, so to speak, it is quite the difference maker. I mean, I'm not going to minimize the effect of proper sight.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking down, I picked these up on 31st Street and Fifth Avenue. And so looking down Fifth Avenue, yeah, I mean, the clarity in which you can kind of read signs, the neon, street signs, not like I have to do this too often, but license plates for felonious cars.
Yeah.
Going to the airport when you're in a terminal and you kind of look down the long hallway and you see gate 87 and the destination, like that after a certain distance would become blurry. But yeah, I was able to put on the glasses and this time and immediately see Jacksonville, New Orleans, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Also for movies, I think it's going to be a big help.
I was just thinking about that. That was going to be my next question.
I tend to sit kind of mid back, central if I can get it, but I am okay kind of sitting in that last third of the audience. And anything with a subtitle, I was always kind of I guess that's just how it is. So again,
it's not.
No, it's not. They didn't fuck up. This is how it was intended for me to, and I have a little bit of a bump. For the folks at home who have glasses, it's a negative 0.25, negative 0.75. So it's a little bump, but it's night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to it really is nice. Now, obviously, I have something on my face, and there's a sense of some time that's going to be spent getting used to that because I just kind of want to paw it off. And I'll fuck them up. I'll scratch them. I'll drop them. I'll lose them. I mean, there's going to be some growing pains. Just getting, these are kind of like my training wheels a little bit.
Sure.
I don't even know if these are like, I haven't got the whole AI fix it, face placement of what type of glasses you should wear, what type of head you have. There's a whole science behind it that's very new to me. But yeah, for the folks at home, I have kind of
this is a starter pair.
yeah.
Is it Warby Parker or
No,
Eyeglasses Direct?
yeah, like eyeglasses dot I don't know biz. They're called Blue Midnight, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know really where they're from. Oh, okay. Well, they're definitely Chinese.
Okay.
So there probably was a heavy tariff on these.
Yeah, that was why they cost $35 or whatever.
Yeah. So if I lose them, no big deal. I will eventually find, and if there's like, how did you find the glasses that fit you best?
I just kept trying them on.
Okay. But like the pair that you have on now, how long have you kind of had that model?
3 years?
Okay. So prior to that, what'd you have? Something similar?
Yeah, basically the same pair.
Okay. So you kind of rock the rectangular. Yeah. Do you have the nose things that keep that on?
I wish. I miss that a lot.
Really? Why? Doesn't it just indent your face, your nose?
It holds the glasses up a little higher. I prefer the glasses to be a little higher than they're sitting right now.
Yeah, I had to do the kind of mid-bridge push-up thing a lot.
Yeah.
So you would take the indentations on your nose.
Yeah, I miss having metal frames, but the metal frames at Warby Parker are flimsy as fuck.
Gotcha. Okay, well, there goes our sponsorship.
Well, prove me wrong, Warby Parker. Sponsor us and give me metal frames that fucking work right.
Or give us.
Yeah, both of us are bespectacled now. Have you watched anything?
What did I watch? I don't know. Why don't you go first?
I just rewatched Butt Boy. It's pretty great.
I've never heard of Butt Boy.
It's directed by the guy who's doing the Johnny Pemberton, like, he's the star of it, that played at South by this year, called Mermaid, where it's like a Florida man version of Splash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I went back through, well, the recent thing I just did was rewatch The Night Of.
Okay.
And it's still terrific. And it makes me sad because, Michael K. Williams is in it. He's really good.
Yeah. That and Lovecraft Country, it was a real bummer. Like, yeah. I mean, they were great. And he was great. But, yeah, it was watching them with this, kind of specter of his death hanging over it. It's a real bummer.
Yeah, and weird to see Jeannie Berlin now again, after having watched The Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
In between watchings. But Riz Ahmed, I mean, what a talent. And for him to win the Emmy that year, I mean, he beat like De Niro, right? He beat his castmate John Turturro. He beat like the who's who kind of established actors. But just, you forget half the time that he's British. Because he's able to just slip so easily into an American accent, both in this and, of course, Nightcrawler and Sound of Metal and various other projects that he's a great chooser of projects as well. He has a good agent, but also there's not too many things where he shows up in that you just kind of dread watching or that are interminable. But yeah, it's just an amazing series. If nobody has seen it, it's on HBO. It's an 8-part miniseries about a murder and kind of the fallout after that. I'm sure you've seen it at least once.
I saw it once, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a Steven Zalian project, right?
Believe so. Sounds right.
Yeah, he went off. Recently is the showrunner for Ripley.
Yeah, but he also wrote...
He's done tons of stuff, right?
Traffic, the Soderbergh film.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been watching that, and obviously a lot of recent late-night monologues.
Yep, that's been something.
We're in the throes right now of an attack on First Amendment.
Yep.
So if you want to kind of timestamp, actually, you can't really timestamp that for this episode because
this is also dropping hours from when we record it. So
yeah, but I mean, if you come back and revisit this episode, and you're like, oh, the guys were talking about an assault on the First Amendment or the Constitution, it'd be like, okay, pick up.
Which one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimmel's back on the air
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see by the time
he's back. He could be back off the air also, but for right now, he's back on the air. He's returned. He's been on for 2 nights.
Yeah. By the time we get to Forrest and his movie, who knows?
Yeah, by next Thursday.
We can't make any promises.
Yeah.
Podviz?
Yeah, Podbiz. After we dropped the Q's and T's episode with KT Baldessaro, Mobius 13 skated. Stellar cast, great writers and producers, but just feels like a bit of a misfire. This is, of course, before he rewatched it. Like, they couldn't decide whether they wanted to be a true satire, an homage, a slapstick comedy, or what, so it tries being all of them and ends up being none of them. Also, the conceit of 3 different endings sounds cool, but really just means you couldn't decide what story to tell if there's no clear ending. Does the story really matter? And then Gopher Balls responded to that. When this came out, there was minor backlash against the gimmick along the lines of, if I'm paying my hard-earned money, I want to see the whole thing, not pay 3 times. I was mildly put off enough not to see it in the theater, so that goes to our speculation that you would just not go. And so then he said they got good press when they fixed it on the home release. So
Yeah, and that's something that, like, I think in real time, as we did that episode, I discovered through you guys.
Yeah, you were shocked.
It made no sense. But
You were like, wait, what?
Wait, stop recording.
Yeah.
I'm completely in the dark here. And something that never came up, like, earlier through, I'll blame my older cousin who introduced this movie to me. This was not something that, like...
Well, you were 6 when it came out. 5 when it came out.
Yeah, but I probably saw it when I was...
I'm just saying
11.
you wouldn't have been cognizant of the reaction to its release with 3 endings in the theater, 3 separate releases. You wouldn't have been aware of that, and then you would have only known it, and your cousin probably only knew it as the home video rendering of it, you know?
No Wikipedia back then. And, like, no disclaimer, like, before the movie started.
I mean, we all thought, like, Zach Morris died in 1991 or whatever. There was a solid 3 months where we thought that Mark Paul Gosselaar was dead.
Oh, yeah. He's not.
He's not dead. Now, Mobius 13 also said that Whodunit, the Clue documentary from 2022, which I believe is available on Amazon Prime right now, is a must-watch for fans of Clue, a true love letter to the film. Gopher Balls also said when we announced the movie, this is going to be a fun one, especially if it ends up being a battle between I will defend this movie to my very last breath versus I don't get it. I assume that he was putting the I don't get it on one of the two of us, and probably me because I wasn't the one who grew up with it. After the episode, Mobius 13 said, really love this episode. KT's exuberance and adoration for Clue almost made me change my mind. Still think it was a bit of a misfire, but can definitely see why it's beloved. Now, excuse me, I'm off to watch The Thin Man.
Yeah. Going through the mysteries, going through the genre.
But, I mean, it wouldn't be an episode of this podcast if we didn't talk about The Thin Man, right?
Yeah, I mean...
I've edited it, like, it's been so many episodes that we've talked about The Thin Man at this point. It's been at least 5.
And sadly, something that's not really going to ever come up as an episode of this podcast.
Well, yeah, because almost anyone who grew up with it would have seen it since.
Anybody who grew up with The Thin Man is probably not going to be alive. Although, we're not discouraging anybody to come forward who grew up with The Thin Man.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We want to watch it. Any excuse for either of us to watch that movie again. Gold.
Yeah, I mean, The Thin Man is in kind of a class of its own. It's often, you know, when I talk about movies from like the 30s and 40s, it's a movie that comes up all the time. It's like
it's one of the first ones that I like go out of my way to mention.
Yeah, I bring up like The Thin Man and It Happened One Night, like almost all the time when I talk about like 30s films. I like bringing up Baby quite a bit too, but like those.
But they're both pre-code too, so there's a little. They're just in under the wire.
Mm-hmm. And
like the code basically drops like months after The Thin Man and It Happened One Night come out.
I think City Lights is also 31 and M is 31. Those are kind of like the ones that I talk about when I talk about the 30s.
Yeah,
but,
M is fantastic.
Yeah, I could stand to see a lot more from that decade just to kind of catch up. Probably to you. Probably see more movies from the 30s than me.
I went through a big pre-code watching so much shit for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Like anything I could get my hands on, I was kind of watching. KT responded to that, Skeet. Thank you so much. I love that even if Clue isn't your favorite, you can still see why it has such a devoted following. The Thin Man is a perfect next stop. Such a clever, charming mystery. Enjoy. Now, before rewatching, but after listening to our episode, Gopher Ball said, shout out to the James J. Hill house. I lived a couple doors down, not at the Archbishop's. Coincidentally, I went to a murder mystery holiday work party at the nearby university club. No one wanted to play, just down cocktails, so the poor actors gave up and announced the murderer before dessert.
Oh God. Well, yeah. I mean, if you got a parking situation, you got to take care of.
Yeah.
Have you been to a murder mystery?
I worked on a boat.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were privy to murder mystery.
I've seen a lot. We had our vendor that we went through for them. Yeah, we booked these murder mystery, the whodunit players.
Okay.
And so I worked there for 8.5 years. I've seen the whole thing go down probably, oh God, at least 36 times.
Okay. Yeah, you've been around it way more than me.
Yeah.
I think I've been part of one.
James J. Hill House, by the way, is a, fancy ass house and like old house, historic house in St. Paul up on Cathedral Hill.
Yeah. It's like the Selby area.
But it's one of those homes you can tour. One of those kinds of historic homes.
In Portland, it'd be something called the Pittock Mansion.
Yeah. Then after he rewatched, Gopher said, I watched the movie probably for the first time since it came out. It was better than I remembered, with a great cast and some funny bits. It did weirdly bother me that it didn't follow the game closer, and you couldn't solve the murder, blank in the blank with the blank, like an Agatha Christie story.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fair complaint.
Yeah, and I think that was something I brought up when we were talking about if we could do this movie today, right? Is my yearning would be for it to give the audience enough clues so that you could figure it out. And maybe we don't spell it out in the script, but we have attentive, smart people who watch this movie to be able to figure it out, deduce, in keeping with the game, right?
Yeah.
You have to follow the IP.
Right. On Instagram, _enduring_X tagged real Leslie Ann Warren, along with a heart emoji on our post.
Oh.
So if you're listening, Leslie Ann Warren, we'd love to have you on.
She just did a screening of Clue, I think in New York. I think I saw something SAG was advertising. Okay. That she showed up for. Yeah. I for whatever reason, I knew that I couldn't make it. Maybe it's happening tonight. But she still is very much aligned with it. I don't think she has any kind of weird, I don't want to be associated with that anymore kind of thing.
Right.
Talk to me about my current work kind of bullshit. But yeah, we'd love to have her on. And we probably know more about her body of work than other podcasters.
Presumably, yes. On Facebook, Nick, is it Hartel or Hartle?
I think he'll say Hartle, but yeah.
Okay. So on Facebook, Nick Hartle said...
I think that's good. Yeah.
Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. He said, solid episode. I last watched this one off a laptop during the big ice storm in PDX. We lost power for 2 days, and it definitely made us forget about what was going on for 90 minutes. Fun fact, Cluedo was a combo of Clue and Ludo, which is a ladder for play. Ludology popped up in the mid-20th century as the study of gaming based off of popular classic games like Clue.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And KT, whose App Movie Runtime account you should all be following, posted a reel where she does a little animation over the Q's and T's convo with me and KT. Mm-hmm. That you should definitely check out. Our account is a collaborator in the post, but you should make sure to follow her. But it's about her...
something she said.
Doing a gender reverse thing, and anyway. Yeah, gender swapped roles.
You always get a little etymology here on Q's and T's, and then you always get some...
Yeah, it is weird how much weird... this is where I fill in the gaps because my brain doesn't want to leave things hanging.
Yeah.
But we also have other people who do the same goddamn thing, so clearly we're appealing to sickos like me.
We have things that, the synapses in our brains will fire in the course of an episode, but we don't want to kind of pull the emergency brake and stop any kind of momentum on that. But
100%.
That's what Josh and I do, is we kind of flag these things as we're talking about with our guest.
Yeah, because otherwise the episode will be even longer than it was.
Yeah.
Because I went down a goddamn rabbit hole. Because trust me, having started Munch My Benson back up and recording again, Jesus Christ. Those episodes are even longer than ours.
Yeah, this also allows you to get some sleep because without putting a bow on these things, you're just tossing and turning.
Yeah. Well, I think without any further ado, we should throw to Forrest Miller of Movie Night Extravaganza. This is really fun talk, and I'm really looking forward. We still haven't recorded the main event. That's like a few days from now.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to recording this.
Yeah, this is an abnormal one.
Yes.
But the audience, you guys listening to this right now, you have no idea what kind of depravity we're going to get into talking about this movie with Forrest, and neither do we. At this point, we do not.
We'll all find out.
Yeah, by that time, we'll hopefully not be in jail.
Yes, hopefully. But without any further ado, Forrest Miller.
We'll be right back in just a minute.
Welcome, everybody, to another Q's and T's installment of the Unkind Rewind, where each week we explore a movie that our guest grew up with, and then in next week's episode we'll potentially ruin that movie. Not definitely, but potentially. In an exercise we call the Unkind Rewind. I am Josh Dugan, I'm your host. I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host Sean McGrath. Sean, how are things?
Things are good. I'm excited for this one, with our guest not knowing anything right now, but that's how we like it.
Yes. Yes. Our guest this week is none other than Forrest Miller, host of Movie Night Extravaganza. How's it going, Forrest?
It's going all right. Interested to see what goes on, what gets picked, because this is like an eclectic list, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think we had 4 movies shortlisted from it. And there was a little bit of an argument about it, but we'll get into that. So, Forrest, for the audience at home who may not know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm a podcast producer / I guess movie host at this point. You know, I started off working like political podcasts, and worked for Michael Brooks' show, worked for Ben Burgess, I'll give them an argument, worked for Jacobin for a little while. And while doing that, kind of was like, hey, I like watching movies. Let's talk about movies. So while I was working for Ben, I started doing these movie streams on his channel. And that ended up, when I stopped working for him, becoming its own channel.
Okay.
This is all kind of during COVID that this all kind of took place. So by the end of it, I kind of was doing my own movie channel. So I host it with Conan Neutron and with Christina Oakes, and we just talk about movies every single week. And like the list, I guess it's a pretty eclectic set of movies. It's not like, I don't know, we got it so that it's not like structured based on anything except movies. Like we can kind of just do whatever we want. And I was wondering, like, should I have some kind of gimmick with it or something? Like originally I was like, there's got to be like a gimmick that I could come up with, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that meant that, you know, it's kind of all over the place.
Sure. It also means you're not stuck watching mostly garbage like we are.
I mean, you know, like there's some people that just do bad, like movies that they don't like, you know, like why would you like stick yourself with that
How did this get made, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think that they like a lot of those bad movies.
I think that they like the experience of watching them.
Yes. I know you don't have that bone as much as I do. I like watching a bad movie, but
Josh will always talk about his extra bone. So, Forrest, for the people who don't listen to Movie Night Extravaganza, but who should, it's an hour or two, sometimes more, sometimes less, of you and the gang and a guest, but sometimes not a guest, talking about a movie that just, sometimes they're brand new as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really ends up being like an eclectic experience. There's no real I mean, there's a structure to it, but there's no real like, structure to the movies we choose, I guess. Some months we just do like a theme. Like some months we'll go all the way across something like vampire movies, or I don't know. We've been talking about doing maybe like westerns, like just starting at like Stagecoach or something like that, and ending at like Buster Scruggs. Like we'll take a little detour, I guess, through uncharted territory.
But the episode itself kind of feels like 3 or 4 friends sitting down at a coffee shop or a bar, just kind of talking about the movie, as specific scenes, and then in its totality.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of times we don't even do it like across the movie in like a linear fashion. It ends up being just kind of whatever comes into people's minds. But we also do after parties, which are just completely unstructured, and it's just us fucking around for whatever amount of time, and we like throw them on Patreon. And a lot of times we have guests for that, but a lot of times we don't. And at some point we'll probably get our channel taken down. But
when you were on these other
won't we all though?
Yeah, they're coming for everybody. When you were on these other podcasts, were you on the mic, or was it just producing?
All right, so I started off as an editor, and then I was very much not on the mic, and nobody really invited me to be on the mic through that. But like I was also producing like short documentaries for different people. And then over time, it kind of ended up with, I got promoted enough to, at various gigs that I ended up on the mic for parts of things. But yeah, that was kind of, I feel like I've like done every side of podcasting by now, like the editing side and like the YouTube channel side, and like the producing and being kind of on the mic once in a while side, and then the hosting side. And it's always something different, which is good, I think.
Josh, are we hiring?
I wish, Jesus.
Seems like a guy that we could use.
To take anything off of my plate would be a fucking delight at this point. So, what was your like educational background then to end up breaking in with like on the sort of Michael Brooks behind the scenes side, and then obviously to Ben Burgess?
Yeah, I mean, I just went to like local SUNY school, I guess, but I ended up getting a media production, first an associate's and then a bachelor's in it. So, enough of a background. No one's ever really like asked though, you know what I mean? Like I've gotten hired by enough people, but I could have just lied about it. No one ever asked for like a resume.
Yeah. I'm constantly being asked to show my diploma, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
You get pulled over in the comp, it's like license, registration, diploma. If you don't have the diploma, you're fucked.
Yeah. That's why you got to keep it in the car. I mean, it's illegal for you to be in the car without it, right?
Yeah.
Driving while uneducated.
Driving while diploma-less.
Yeah, I mean we're like 5 seconds from that being a thing. Sadly.
Let's see. When they like show us your papers, it's like, oh, let me see. Here's my diploma. They're like, okay, you can go.
You have to do a sobriety test to like pass like a 4-year liberal arts education.
They're like read this aloud.
Yeah.
And answer questions based.
Explain the difference between a simile and a metaphor, although that's probably more junior high, elementary school.
There's one like algebra question on every DUI they pull you over for or whatever, and like, do this algebra.
And where was this upbringing of yours?
So starting off like in the city in Brooklyn, that was like the first few years, and then somehow I don't know what my parents knew, but like right before 9/11 we moved upstate, like literally a few months before it. So, I've lived, like an hour and a half from the city for the rest of my upbringing.
Is that kind of a running joke within the family that there was knowledge about what was coming?
Not really, but it's a running joke that I always say.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I don't know if I think it would just get a confused look.
Sure.
Outside of me just saying it to people. But I don't know, my mom had like a cousin that was working in the World Trade Center and then just happened not to go to, like, she was sick that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, are you at all relieved to have sort of pivoted to film, podcasting, or whatever?
Relieved, but also broke.
Sure, right. Yeah, there's that.
It's it's
double-edged sword,
but it's not the money that I was making for a second there.
Sure, you at least did hack it to where you're doing way less work on the back end.
Yeah.
Like the episode's just up.
Yeah. There was a while there when I was working for Ben Burgess where we were doing it. He would record it and then I would like edit it, and there was always like color correction issues, and it just made me not want to edit anything anymore. It's just like 12 hours of editing something like every week. I'm like, I don't. This is too much.
What are your favorite kind of things? We all edit here in some capacity or other, but what are the types of things that you still derive some type of pleasure or satisfaction via editing or through editing?
I mean, I really liked when I would get money to do like short documentaries. Like I did a bunch of them for Michael, and then I did 2 of them for Jacobin. One of them was on Eugene Debs, and one of them was on Thomas Frank's book on populism. And then I had a third one in the chamber, but I ended up getting laid off before I could finish that one by like a couple weeks. I kind of like doing that, but it's kind of time consuming. But like there would always be like an interview that someone had recorded, and then we would just kind of layer over it. And I liked that.
I will say, I really think your intro edits for Movie Night Extravaganza are fantastic.
Yeah, they're time consuming, but they're fantastic.
You can tell they're time consuming.
Yeah,
I like when you're watching them, you're like, Jesus Christ, how does Forrest do this?
It started off like I was just kind of reading people's intro live, but I don't like reading live on a screen, and then it's like I always fuck it up, and so like at some point it would just give me like a massive amount of anxiety, like because I hadn't even gotten my setup together at that point, so it was kind of this like weird little like art screen thing that I had, and I was like I would just go into it feeling panicked because the second that I mess anything up, everyone jumps on it too, so it's like. Thanks, guys. Yeah. They're like it would be like coded like being like, oh no, you have to read it, but also if you fuck it up, like we're gonna point it out, and it's like,
sure,
all right, well I don't want to do it. Why can't you guys do your own intros? And it's like he was like, oh no, we can't do that. You're gonna have to read it, but. So eventually I was like, you know what?
Is he just hazing you at that point?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
those seem like
I also hate reading my copy, so.
Yeah.
But those also seem like such a confluence of kind of film lore and trivia as much as it is you introducing the movie. So are you still drawn? Have you lost the passion for trivia to movies having done all these editings for your show? No,
I like watching movies and I like learning about them. That part of it's fun.
You still eat the sausage that you've seen being made?
Occasionally. No, but like that is the part that I like. Like I like learning about the stuff and they kind of just regurgitating it, I guess.
Well, but I think it's helpful for your audience to
100%
to learn all that.
The original version of it was like I would play the trailer, but the second you get
one DMCA,
but it shouldn't be a DMCA because it's literally like you're playing an advertisement for the thing. It's like playing a commercial, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna flag you for this commercial, and we're gonna take the money from your episode." And it's like, "But I played your commercial." Like, it's
this whole thing is a commercial for your fucking thing. Like,
so like it started off with that, and then we got monetized, and every single one, like I don't know, like it took me, I guess I'm a little slow. It took me like a couple weeks to like remember to be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be playing the commercial at the beginning of this because it flags every single one.
Yeah, that's a lot of content to get demonetized that you don't want to have to deal with putting back up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can just trim it, but it's still like, I don't know, it's a hassle.
Yeah. Like, it's already out there, you want to be done with it.
And also you trim it, and then you're awkwardly just like, because, you have that, like, couple minutes where you're, like, waiting for it, and then you're like, hey, welcome, but then, like, you if you trim it, the second, it's like, intro, and then, hey, welcome to this, like, this awkward, like, kind of pause thing that you could tell somebody trimmed the thing out.
Right, there's no transition at all,
Yeah.
So, looking at your list, you submitted and started pouring, like it's pissing rain now, so that's going to be great. But
we can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't.
The mic
it just makes the list reading more moody.
Yeah. But yeah, your list was The Dark Knight, The Sting, Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Toy Story, Sister Act, Analyze This, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, James and the Giant Peach, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Howl's Moving Castle. I'm sure Conan gives you tons of shit for this, but it's very clear that you're a handful of years younger than Sean and I are. As a big chunk, not all, but a big chunk of the movies came out like when Sean and I were adults or in college. So
I would say also,
so it did make me feel old while seeing like the Raimi Spider-Man. It's like, oh fuck, I just finished college when that came out.
I would also point out, though, this is a man who does podcasting.
There is that,
right? So he's constantly rewatching old movies. He had to be very selective with what he gave us because, as a stipulation of this here podcast, we don't want him to have seen any of these recently.
Yes.
So, Forrest, would you say that list that you gave us is still current in that it's been a while since you've seen any of those?
Yeah, it took a little while to like formulate a list for that reason. It's like there's so many movies that I would have added that are like 80s movies or like 90s movies that we've done. Like
Sure.
So I had to come up with stuff that like I don't know. Like I mean I'm 31. It's not like I'm that.
Yeah, you're not a spring chicken, but
I would say
but
that
we're markedly
our,
older than
our guests. There are some certain guests who don't host a movie podcast who have a harder time coming up with a list.
Yes. Yeah, so it's doubly hard for you.
The other thing is like, I'm sure I could have like filled it with like Disney movies, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to watch these. I was thinking, like hopefully you guys have Christina on at some point. But I was like, I wonder what she'll pick because there's like 100% she's watched a lot of the she's watched a lot of the movies she watched as a kid since then.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder what's left on her list.
Yeah, we're waiting on her list to come back. She's been also approached, and I am an hour and a half away from dropping the audio version of KT's Clue episode, who obviously was a co-host for a while.
Yeah.
It's amazing we got a movie for Conan as well that he hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's like a library of movies, though. I feel like there's got to be like 10 that he can think of that he hasn't seen in forever.
But there's also, with the stuff that we would have grown up with, because Conan's within a couple years of us. He's, I think, a year or two older than I am. But with us, there's a lot of stuff that, like, for whatever reason, if it was released in the 80s and wasn't like a huge hit, didn't get re-released on Blu-ray or didn't get re-released on DVD, was like VHS only, or went like one-time DVD but then went out of print, and because of music rights shit hasn't been on streaming. So I think that's a more prevalent issue the more distance there is between streaming and whatever media you were taking in at the time. The more distance there is, it's harder to find.
They're still kind of going back to like a lot of stuff. I feel like there's I don't know. I mean, they end up putting out so many remasters and like re-edits, so many things, but I feel like they're still going through like a lot of the.
Oh yeah,
especially like Criterion, I guess. Like they go through like releases of everything, so there's a surprise by like what hasn't gotten a release, and then they're like, guess what? It's this movie this month, and it's like, oh, I thought you would have already had that on by like a long shot.
I mean, I just got my copy of Night of the Juggler, which was impossible to find for 30 years.
I think they did like a Barry Lyndon re-release for like a 4K version of it, like recently, because it's like the 50-year anniversary. It's a 50-year anniversary of that and Jaws. It's like a weird year.
They're like the same movie.
Yeah, almost.
It's a strong year, 75.
It is, yeah.
They have the shark speaking French.
So, to your list.
Yeah, so to your list, it's The Dark Knight, The Sting, The Spider-Man Sam Raimi, Toy Story, Sister Act, Analyze This, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, James of the Giant Peach, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, I was really picking them. I was going deep in the archives.
I mean, I've seen some of these pretty recently. If you were to guess, and obviously I don't expect you to know every movie that we've done. But if you were to guess, do you have a guess as to what we would have gone with?
Wait, let me pull it up again.
These are all movies that we have not covered yet.
Yes.
Maybe Dark Knight. I could see that being a thing. Maybe Toy Story because it's a like a childhood, like something you saw when you were a kid kind of podcast. I guess maybe James and the Giant Peach for that reason.
Well, Sean was pushing for either Sister Act or Analyze This, right? There was one other one in there. Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's. That was the other one.
Yeah, I think I was pushing hardest for Sister Act, but as anybody on this podcast knows, I always push hard for Sister Act.
I have it on VHS, I think, somewhere.
But
That's
Josh made a good argument, and I conceded my fight, because I think he was right.
So, we're gonna do The Sting.
More movie talk on the Unkind Rewind, right after this.
See, in my head, I was like, it's Robert Redford. I mean, Robert Redford just died. That like it popped into my head for that reason. I have not seen The Sting since middle school.
Okay.
And I remember I was at a friend's house, and I was at like a sleepover type thing, I guess, at like one of my friend's houses in middle school. And I remember we watched The Sting, and I remember I watched it again, like I don't know, within like a couple of years of that. But it's been since then.
Okay.
Every time I hear like The Entertainer, I think of
Sure.
The Sting, but it's kind of blank in my mind.
Okay, so memory can be a tricky thing. Having not seen this since then, can you briefly describe what you remember the basic plot of The Sting being?
I remember it being like a heist movie with Robert Redford and Paul Newman, and I remember feeling like, oh, this is a very old movie. Those are the things that I remember about it. But I mean, I love Robert Redford like as an adult, he's the GOAT, and I mean Paul Newman too. But like Robert Redford really is like an incredible actor, and I've seen things from around this time period that he's been in, obviously, but I haven't gone back to watch The Sting.
So a heist movie, Paul Newman, Robert Redford. Anything else significant that still is rattling around in your mind from memories of this movie?
I mean, just all the ragtime.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
It should stick out because it is like, it feels like it's like bumper to bumper, like wall to wall ragtime.
Yeah.
So I'll be prejudicial and just say that this seems like kind of an out-of-the-box pick for a couple kids on a middle school sleepover. How did you land on The Sting? Was it your choice, your friend's choice? Was it in the house?
Yeah, I think it was just like in the house, like you had it on DVD. But it was always like this weird thing where it's like, like movies like your parents liked, or like as when they were younger, like movies that they grew up with. Is like you kind of want to experience it and be like, either like, hey, this is old as fuck and you guys are old, or just like get into it.
Was this something that your parents had seen and that you knew that they had seen, or just of the era of like when they would go see movies?
Something that they had seen that I know that they had seen.
Okay.
Like my mom likes Robert Redford.
Well, whose mom doesn't?
Whose mom didn't?
Yeah. I mean, he's really going with like
and some dads.
Yeah.
4 generations of people being like, that's a hot man. At this
Yeah,
point.
I mean, like literally what, 60 plus years of being a sexual object
A hot
of
piece
desire?
of ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hadn't even completely retired from it. Like he would come out of retirement once in a while, because he was obviously the guy that like founded Sundance. So he was never like,
yeah,
I don't know. He's never like,
and every few years he'd do All Is Lost or whatever. You know? Where it's still like, oh no, this guy's like fucking almost 80 and getting tossed around in a tank shooting all this stuff. Like that had to be nuts to shoot at his age.
You need a couple years off after that.
His son, who like unfortunately passed away before he did, he's passed away in 2020. The year that I was working at Woodstock Film Festival, like in college, like there was a class pretty much like to get credit. They're like, hey, you can just work at Woodstock Film Festival as free labor and do all the like the interviews and the talking to whoever comes in with the movies. Like, so there was like a class that was just around that where we just kind of hung out until Woodstock Film Festival, and then we went there with cameras and like microphones, and they're like, all right, it's the 0 hour, let's go in there. So James Redford, his son, when he was alive, because I think he was one of those guys that like as an environmental activist would constantly be around chemicals and like power plants and stuff, like so I think he got himself kind of fried that way and ended up getting cancer. But he put out this like documentary about like where he was like chaining himself to like power plants and walking around industrial waste sites and stuff. And I remember we went to interview him and everyone was like, James, it's time to go, we're gonna go into Woodstock, we're gonna party. And then we had to be like, sir, can you talk to us for a few minutes about your film? And then I remember like he wanted to get the fuck out of there, and like it was just like this awkward, like we're really like imposing on Robert Redford's son by trying to get like credit for this class.
So you watched this a couple times as a teenager. What do you think you were like as a teenager, with the remove of being adult Forrest now?
He may have been a preteen.
Yeah, I think it must have been like 12 or 13, but like it was a long time ago, like watching this, I feel like. But like I definitely like was at my friend's house and just kind of nerding out and kind of bored. And then like,
So what kind of kid were you at that age?
I mean, just kind of a nerdy kid.
Like film nerd, or did it permeate other things?
Film nerd, but also like I started being interested in like the nitty gritty of politics, like trying to follow politics. And like at that age, like it's not like I didn't know what was going on, but it was like, I don't know, like I wasn't like jaded by it yet, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. You were still a cockeyed optimist.
Yeah.
Did you have a sense of, like, say, the war on terror and what was going on in Iraq and what was going on in Afghanistan,
like,
and have opinions about that?
At like a preternaturally young age, I think, because I don't know, like my parents were always talking about it and had like a lot of opinions, and like we would go to like events and hear people like panels, and I would like fall asleep, but they would listen to people talk. And like, I don't know, I remember like at one point, like my dad was like a green architect, so like he was constantly talking about like environmental sustainability and like housing. And like, I don't know, like as soon as like an Inconvenient Truth came out, I had to go with him like 3 times to go see it, and every single time I'd like try to stay up, but it was like always in like theaters that were
How
like,
old were you when you were having to go to an Inconvenient Truth?
I mean, it was what, 2006 when it came out?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like what, like 12 or something.
Okay. I mean, Al Gore is hard to stay awake for.
Yeah. Well, it's always in like these cozy little like indie theaters too.
Sure.
I don't know, like when I finally like we had to like watch it in like a science class, and I finally stayed up through it. But I remember it was summer, and we go to like these like little indie theater things, and I would just end up like instantly falling asleep. So there'd be like these cozy little
I fall
places.
asleep in the theater all the time. I fell asleep during fucking Fantastic Four. I fell asleep during.
But I felt like it was like an important thing that I should stay awake for. And the second you have that thought, you know you're going out, like, you know, you're out like a light. You're like, this is important, and I need to stay up for this.
Yeah, 100% asleep immediately.
Yeah.
That's why you got to bring a lighter. Just give yourself a little quick burn.
Yeah. Just like the earth.
So what do you think it was about The Sting that appealed to your younger self?
I mean, I don't know. It was, like, I definitely wanted to like see the sex symbols of the 60s and 70s. Like, if you like, I don't know, you always want to judge it. You want to be like, we have guys and girls way hotter than that now. Or like,
do you think we do have guys and girls that are way hotter than Newman and Redford?
No, but no. Like, but you want to sit in judgment, right? Like, it's like, sure. I don't know. It was like, I guess it was the early 2010s, or no, it was maybe like the 2000s. But like, you still want to like sit in judgment and be like, yeah, we've got to have like guys and girls that are way hotter. No, we don't. It didn't happen.
It didn't. And they're pretty much the apex. You know, they're on the Mount Rushmore for sure. Yeah,
like who even today would you consider? You know, is Clooney maybe a proxy?
Clooney and Pitt, I guess.
Clooney and Pitt, yeah,
but like even they have this weird thing about them that, like, at least Robert Redford and Paul Newman too, but like Robert Redford never like had that weird, like, I don't know, there's just a thing around Clooney and like a darkness around Brad Pitt that you can tell, like,
yeah,
that's a guy, if he was slightly like less famous, would have gotten Me Too'd. Like
probably, yeah.
And like he kind of did, but everyone was like, he can't. There's like an echelon where he's too hot to get Me Too'd.
Right. He's untouchable. Yeah.
Did this stoke any type of interest for heist movies or movies where there's a ruse or a double cross or things like that? Are those intriguing elements to film after seeing something like this?
I mean, I've always thought those were intriguing elements to film. It's just they've gotten easier to follow as I've gotten older. That's the only thing, I guess.
You see it coming?
Well, just, I don't know. Like, I feel like as a kid, like they would put out a plot. Like they would be like, maybe it's because I had like untreated ADHD, but they'd like put out a plot, and I'd be like, oh man, they just said the plot, and I was like looking off into the into the distance for a second there. But like, I don't know. I've always really liked heist movies. I like that whole thing. There's been some like really good ones too.
Yeah. How steeped in the oeuvre of Redford and Newman are you? I know you did 3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah.
You guys did All the President's Men, right?
We haven't. We're trying to get a guest for that. Like we have someone that.
Okay.
The same guest for 3 Days of the Condor. We decided that we're gonna try to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get Sam Cedar back on and talk about All the President's Men. That would be like that. That's like feels like the prime guest to talk about that.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen way more Robert Redford movies at this point than, because Paul Newman was like a tiny bit older than he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember I saw like Cool Hand Luke, I think, when I was a kid. Pretty sure I saw Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, when I was young. Like, so I don't know, it was always around. Like, I always like knew that. But I've seen so many like Robert Redford movies, I feel like, at this point.
Okay.
They really had like I don't know, like these are two hot guys. One's a little bit older than the other one. We're gonna just throw them into whatever. Like, you can really put them in anything. Like,
I often wish that they had been in even more films together.
Yeah.
So do you have any memories that stick out about your impression of this film? Or, like, obviously you watched it as a sleepover. Do you remember what the impetus was for watching it a second time? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it was just like my friend had parents around the same age, and it was just like, oh, this is like a movie our parents liked. I don't think that there was, I mean, like, in like, obviously, like, by then, every like hippie kid, like kind of hippie kid, like hippie parents were eating like Newman's Own, and I always felt like that was funny. Like, it was like Paul Newman's version of Oreos, so it was like,
yeah.
That's the Oreos guy.
I have some of his lemonade in my refrigerator right now.
I mean, this, like, the Oreos are so fucking good. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's funny that he had a second wind.
That's still going strong.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And he's not even around to, yeah.
So what expectations do you have for your return to The Sting?
Like, I'm sure I'll appreciate it now way more than I did at that point.
I mean, between then and now, right, you've seen thousands of movies. Perhaps your tastes have changed, or perhaps there are things that you can see now that you didn't see originally as a kid. I mean, are you expecting it to be as good as you remembered? I
mean, it's a very vague memory. So I think like everything I've ever seen Robert Redford and I liked.
Yeah.
So I it's hard to be like it's hard to imagine that I'll hate it. At this point.
Right. We didn't choose it because we figured you'd hate it. Just to be clear.
Forrest, you are, as a feather in your cap, this is the first movie that has won an Academy Award. That we.
You guys haven't done one that. You guys haven't done any.
I mean, specifically Best Picture.
Yeah, specifically Best Picture. There might be like special effects Oscar for fucking Lost World, which was awful.
Yeah, I mean, there is some hardware that has probably been, like The Craft may have won Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards or something.
I think it did actually happen.
But as far as
by the way, everyone that got that award has probably been me too. It's like, oh, maybe I'll just put that like not on my shelf, like.
Well, I hope they don't come for Kirsten Dunst, because I know that she won for the
Spider-Man,
the OG Spider-Man, the Upside Down.
She'll be fine. It's still weird to me though that she's married to Jesse Plemons.
I mean, if you can marry the best, you marry the best.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, just funny they met on like the set of Fargo. And it's like, oh no,
I was rooting for Todd the whole time on Breaking Bad.
And Todd,
it's crazy that he got fucking like skinny, and then within 2 years got mad fat, and it was like just four roles, and he just stuck it out.
Yeah. Why would you lose weight if you're just Jesse Plemons and can do whatever the fuck you want?
But they made El Camino or whatever, like the Jesse Pinkman like follow up or whatever, and they put him in there but fat, so he had to like constantly be at like an angle. He's like. He's like Jesse Pinkman.
But you expect to like this.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that. I mean, they're in their prime, right? Like they're
Josh, for you, last time you saw this?
God, it's been a very long time. I would guess I think Jackie and I have watched it once, like when we lived back in Austin. So I would guess it's been 20-ish years.
It feels like a Austin movie to watch. Like, just like, I'm gonna go down like 6th Street and bump like just ragtime on my car.
I can't be sure. The last time I saw this, I'd imagine it was somewhere around late high school or college. Though I don't think I've seen it as an adult.
Yeah,
I would. I think if it
or within a year or two. Like, I think I watched it with Jackie, but I don't remember when that was. It could have been college.
Yeah, it's been definitely a long time for me. I mean, I've seen little clips here and there, but I think I've seen the poker game scene once or twice in the last couple of years that has just kind of come up in front of my algorithm. But yeah, as far as sitting down and watching The Sting, my goodness, it has definitely been 20 years.
Yeah.
The cast is like on top of Redford and Newman is crazy too.
Yeah, is Beatty in it? Ned, not Warren.
It's got quite the cast.
It's got a
James Earl Jones.
it's got a Charles During, who's who always fucking creeps me out. I mean, Dog Day Afternoon, but he creeps me out because he was Doc Hopper in the Muppet movie. And as a kid, he was a guy that was running around, and he was constantly like, he had frog's legs and was trying to get Kermit's legs.
Have you ever read about his history in World War II?
No.
He's like a crazy war hero.
Yeah, we can save that for
we'll save that for next week, but weird, like crazy background. We're like, holy shit.
Yeah, he shot Hitler to death at a movie theater.
It's got Elliot Gould's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a sick cast.
I'm definitely looking forward to this. It's been a very long time. I do remember loving this movie. This movie to me, I fucking loved. I thought it was so goddamn fun as a kid. And this is one that like my parents, I watched because of my parents, you know, like they definitely brought this home. Like they pushed this at the video store and we watched it and I loved it.
His mom kept a coffee like in a closet. And like in a nightstand, as most moms.
It was definitely like that with my friend that I was like at their house. Like their parents were definitely like, yeah, The Sting, we love The Sting. Like you know, that's definitely why they had it as a movie, just to like in their like collection or whatever. Yeah, I think they didn't have cable, so it was like, you know, it was like, oh, this is our movie collection. Uh-huh. But there's also Robert Shaw. We just watched Jaws and talked about that for a while. And his story, this is 2 years before Jaws, like 73. Like that's crazy. It's crazy that nobody knew that was going to be like at the moment, at least, like the biggest movie of all time. Like
it's right after Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, right?
He had a good run.
Yeah,
for God's sakes, he was.
Or no, that's in between. It's this is 73. That's Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, 74, and Jaws is 75.
Yeah, it's a pretty great run.
A lot of people were having a crazy run at this point, like these years.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at the two stars of this movie.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
two stars of this movie they were on heaters.
Also, like you know, our R.I.P. to the GOAT, but like Gene Hackman was having like probably one of the craziest runs of all time during this. Like
Nicholson too.
Just like Well, I guess Nicholson was supposed to star in this thing. I think there's like a long list of movies that they're like, oh, Jack Nicholson was going to star in this.
Sure. Yeah. Every single movie, he was basically number one on the want list. So
they like casting him as like he might be in it. Like, didn't you cast him? And it's like, yeah, but he might be in it. Like,
he's literally the number one choice for every fucking movie made in the mid-70s. Well, I for one am really looking forward to watching this again.
Yeah, I literally my mind is like besides the like ragtime, and besides, you know, remembering what Paul Newman and Robert Redford like dressed up in their 30s suits, like my mind is way more blank than I wish it was, having seen this like, you know, as young as I did.
I think that's a good thing.
It's also about to change.
Yeah, that's why. As long as it's not a blank by the next time we talk to you, Forrest.
Yeah, it won't be.
That would be an impediment. But if you can watch this movie and retain what you've seen for a few days, I think.
I could definitely hack it, even if like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I never would do that, but I feel like I could bullshit my way through it with a blank mind and be like, Paul Newman and Robert Redford, right? Yeah, right.
So where can listeners find you, Forrest?
Well, Movie Night Extravaganza, youtube.com/Movie Night Extravaganza. And, you know, on all the social medias, on all the audio. I don't say that enough, but we're on all the audio places you can get podcasts, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or whatever. We're on the Google one. You know, I don't even remember what they call it at that point. We're on Spotify. We're on, you know, just anywhere you can listen to stuff. Patreon. I mean, for God's sake, become a patron. I'm poor.
Right on. Listen to Forrest. Join the Patreon. Well, I'm pumped. I'm glad we're going to get to do this. This is going to drop, like, this episode that we're recording right now is going to drop on Thursday. So
Josh and I are giving ourselves a little treat with this.
Yes, we're taking a respite from less great films.
I mean, it's timely. Like,
it's definitely
RIP to the GOAT himself, but Redford was having a crazy run at this point.
He sure was.
I think
there's a candidate's right in here. Condor 74, right?
Yeah, so or no, 75, I guess. So it was like, within 2 years of this, which I was just they like the best meme that got like recycled or whatever because he passed away, where it was 3 Days of the Condor is a movie where the CIA comes after him for being too stylish.
Yeah, I saw that.
His
That
fucking
was great.
trench coat.
Yeah. Well, Forrest, thanks for joining us, and I, for one, am very jazzed, even ragtimed, to be watching this.
I was gonna say no pun intended there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This has the possibility of being more kind than we normally are on the Unkind Rewind.
Yeah, we might have to cross out the
yeah, this could be a kind rewind.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we will see you next week. That was another installment of the Unkind Rewind, mining our childhood for content, one film from a guest's past at a time. Unkind Rewind is a Munchcasts production and can be listened to wherever you download your podcasts and watched on the Unkind Rewind YouTube channel. Music for this and every other episode of Unkind Rewind was composed by Divorcio Suave. Rate, review, like, and subscribe to Unkind Rewind on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Good Pods. Links to all of our social media accounts are in our show notes, but you'll find us as at Unkind Rewind Pod on Letterboxd and nearly every social media platform, all of which can be found at our website, unkindrewind.com. If you have a question, concern, complaint, or feedback, you can email the podcast at unkindrewindpod@gmail.com or call into our call-in line, area code 507-479-6440, and leave a message that can be played on air. Fans should join the Munchcast Discord to discuss this or any other episode of the Unkind Rewind with like-minded people. This dialogue may just make it into a future episode of the pod. The Unkind Rewind Patreon will be coming soon, so start squirreling that pocket change away. Thank you for listening to the Unkind Rewind.